Hello, and welcome to episode 81 of JagaVision. A little bit of a trial getting going today. We're doing another session with the tea roaster, which is exciting. So it's a little bit of a different setup in the studio here. But if this is your first time tuning in, JagaVision is hosted by myself, Nyberg. I am a co-owner of JagaSilk. You can go to jagasilk.com and check out details. We are tea millers, we're brewers, we are now firers. We just like to explore what's possible with, I guess, tea. I don't know how to explain it. Anyway, we have had some fantastic shows. We're on episode 81, so that's 81 weeks of doing this. We've had amazing guests live from origin in Japan, China, India. We've had industry folks on. We've just had random, I think we did a show where an electric car specialist was on drinking tea with us. We've had shows with farmers from Japan talking about agriculture. And today we're actually doing a sequel to a session that was done on a festival that I am a part of, the Victoria Tea Festival Revival, and you can find details at victeafestrevival.org. On the, I think, the 5th hour, we had Pedro Villalon of
pretty good, man.
thank you, of O5T, who's actually in the background here. You can just hear him. Pedro is joining us from O5 in Vancouver, well, actually from his office in Vancouver, and he's going to be guiding me through, or we're going to kind of figure this out together, is the second part of this process that we started. So he was doing a Mimasaka Bancha that was harvested. He harvested the tea for this process from his yard in Richmond, which is pretty sweet. And then we're going to go and we couldn't finish it during the festival because there's a firing part. And if we're going to fire tea, we do have some equipment to do that. So maybe we can bring Pedro on. Pedro, you're there.
Awesome, man. Yeah, right here.
Okay, amazing. And I have the roaster on, but I'm gonna maybe you could talk to us a little bit about what we did and what we're about to do.
Yeah, well, what we're going to do is something I've never done because I've never had a roaster.
Mm-hmm.
I'm super happy there's one in Victoria now. A couple of weeks ago, we picked up some winter branches and leaves from my tea trees in Richmond. And we handcrafted them as close as possible to the style that people use in Mimasaka to make Bancha.
Right.
Now, there are a few differences. We harvested in very late in the year. We didn't harvest in the height of summer.
Right.
Traditionally, for Mimasaka style Bancha, you sun dry the leaves. We couldn't because there was no sun because it was raining like crazy. So we stuck them in your dehydrator.
Yes, we did.
That said, we try to replicate as much as possible the process.
Mm-hmm.
And the last step of making Mimasaka style Bancha is finish firing. So the idea is to bring some caramel flavors to that tea. There must have been a little bit of fermentation, some fermentation, because it's a slow drying process, and we were spraying the leaves with the water that we boiled the leaves in, or that we steamed the leaves in.
Well, yeah. Wouldn't it stand to reason then that the what is it called, the Kilgreen process was accomplished via the boiling, so there isn't really a fermentation, even though you did a slow dry afterwards, or am I out to lunch?
So during the actual process going on in Mimasaka, usually there's a little bit of fermentation. I think so. Because you kill the green, you kill whatever's in those leaves, but then you put them on the floor and you slow dry them for a fairly long time, and you spray them with the water that you were using.
Right.
So, you would think that some kind of yeast just deposits from whatever's available in the air.
Do you want to, actually, what's kind of interesting is what I'll try and pull it up right now. Is I was able to locate from the archive version of the
JagaVision?
Yeah. Check this out. See that?
Yep.
Okay, so this is us. Let me see. What is the show showing? showing you. Okay, let's peg the show, and we can just show everybody who's watching just a little bit of what Pedro's talking about, what happened during.
Time I checked, there were only 3 people in all of Japan who made this kind of tea.
Wow.
And it's a bancha. It's what's considered
is this
not exactly fancy or expensive. It's just bancha.
Is this? Maybe we can fast forward to you putting the tea in. Did you just do that now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's everything. You no, not in yet. No.
It's interesting, you know, mango puro.
Ryan's got tea.
When they're
Ryan's
hand
got tea.
harvesting,
Right.
they don't do just the
Maybe fast forward a bit.
leaves in the pellet.
In water and all the arts.
Oh, you
It's
got the tea.
important to notice these are large teas, so it's not what you would expect from a
You
spring.
know, partly because if you're
They're not
finding
too
someone-
different versus what I've seen in the height of summer in Mimasaka.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. So you're working with Bancha leaves, and so for those watching, this is kind of more like the mature leaf harvest of Camellia sinensis, rather than I think say sencha, which is going to utilize the young leaves. And so this is just an opportunity to make a very rustic. I think that was the word we were going for, right? It's a rustic style of tea preparation.
Well, yeah, and going back to what we wanted to achieve, so you know, some of us, the nerds, have some plants at home. I've noticed that it's, you know, as you probably know, it's not easy to make delicious tea. And if you want to replicate the most amazing gyokuro, you know, you need to study for a few decades,
Right.
under somebody who knows. Yet there are certain teas that are, I wouldn't say easy to replicate as the masters would be crafting them, but there are certain recipes that allow you to make a very, very drinkable brew at home. So without disrespecting the people who actually know how to do this thing, I found that using this recipe, just a bit of a knockoff on what people do in Mimasaka, it's fairly simple to create a delicious brew with the stuff that you're growing at home. That's the problem that we were trying to solve here. There's not much finesse required, and based on my experience with previous harvests, you can make a very drinkable brew. We didn't know. Sweet, man. Where do you get it? On fire tencha. That's fire. Right. Yeah. You would make your sencha yellow, which would be undesirable. Right, right. No, in this case, I think we need a higher temperature. In this case, I do believe we need a higher temperature. It's a light brown. Light brown. Yeah, there's some caramel. We're not afraid of firing at a higher temperature. So usually when I've done this at home, I've usually fired this in a horuku or a skillet. One of those guys. Yeah, it's fun. I've seen the open drum style. Yeah, I don't think so. I do believe that you can probably reach different temperatures with an oven style and your open style. Correct. 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 Yeah, of course. Shoot. Dude, with that in mind, should we throw the twigs in that roaster now in the finished firer? Because otherwise, it'll be complicated. Roasted tea or finished fired? Awesome. How do they look? Looks dark over there, man. Yeah. No, no, it just looks like very much like night with your. Nah. Yep. There, man. Beautiful. See how shiny they are? Right? Right, right. The liquid slow dried on top of those things.
no, my microphone was off the whole time. Oh, that's horrible. Okay. So now I've
Was it?
learned that nobody could hear me, but they could hear you.
I could hear you.
You could hear me, yes, because you're going through a different.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. So nobody could hear me. Sorry, everybody. Hi. It's Jared from JagaSilk. You probably heard the beginning, but I had to control the microphone for this talk with Pedro. I'm just still working out the sound system right now, so my apologies.
Dude, it looks like you're off. It's you have two microphones, I guess.
Two microphones. Yes, one microphone is
okay.
off. The one that you is the visual, and then the one that's on is the one that I've turned the video off.
I hear. Okay.
Awesome. But now everybody can hear and see me. I don't know what everybody's missed, except that perhaps they missed all that conversation about the fact that
Firing.
Everything.
Maybe you can talk about firing in a drum versus firing in an oven, which was what probably people missed.
Yeah. So that part where we're talking about different ways that you can toast. And I was also talking about that, lower temperatures for longer periods of time is apparently baking, whereas roasting is shorter periods of time at hotter temperatures. I was also explaining that we're going to have a coffee roaster come in next week, and we're going to toast up some tencha together. That's going to be really fun. And then some other bits of information are that the difference between an oven-style tea roaster and an open drum-style tea roaster like this, one of the suggestions made at the tea festival from a tea farmer in India was that we are looking at we're looking at perhaps a different sorry, my brain they were thinking that the volatiles would be more prone to be trapped in an oven style system, and it would make for a better tea. But I was just thinking that you just need to adjust your parameters to suit the needs of the unit that you're cooking with, and I think we were in agreement on that one. And it was just and it's just like the difference between like grilling and frying.
Baking or frying.
Yeah. So hopefully that brings everybody up to speed for all that audio that was missed. And apparently my volume of my mic is really low, so just give me 1 sec while I fix that too.
I can do that too. 1 second.
All right. Hopefully that works. Okay. So, sorry to everybody's watching. Normally I catch that, not 20 minutes into the show. And we are looking at 64 degrees in the unit here. I almost have Pedro back. Pedro's gone for a moment. I think I'm going to turn this up. So let's get this closer to 200, I think. It generally blasts past the ideal temperature, so I'll try and take that into consideration for these. He did say that we want to be probably firing it at a hotter temperature, so that's what we will be doing. Okay, and then
Jared, I'm gonna take my camera off for a second. I'll be back soon. But I'm on audio.
You're on audio. Okay, awesome. All right, so that's what we're seeing. You can hear me okay though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just some technical complication here, but yeah, perfect.
Awesome. So I'm looking at. I'm heating it up now. I had it at 65 degrees C.
Right.
The leaves before they go in are at 22.3.
Okay.
And then I was gonna drop them in. You ready for it?
Go for it, man. Yep.
Okay. We're toasting your leaves that you grew, Pedro.
Yeah.
And they're at, I can get a reading on them okay. Normally you want a minimum of 1 kilogram just so you can get a good reading. I'm reading about 40 on the leaves.
That's not too high, man.
No, I increased the temperature. I don't know if you can see this, but
Let's see what's the max we can get.
so that's down.
Right? I think I'm very honored that those leaves are going to that giant roaster. It's a bit of an overkill.
Yeah, right?
But hey, they're gonna be delicious.
Yeah. Awesome. We are looking at a drum temp of about 70 degrees now.
Alright.
And so apparently you want to, like, to get a good, roast. I was talking about this in the last session. You want to kind of set your dial to get an ideal temperature. So the one on the bottom is what I've set it to get to.
Yeah.
And then the one on the top is the actual temperature it's measuring, and that's in degrees centigrade. But just to confirm that what it says is what I'm getting, I also use this laser thermometer, and they're very different. I've noticed that around 210 is actually closer to 80 degrees.
That's different.
Yeah, right? So, and it is what it is. I guess if you put something in an oven too, as much as we think the temperature on the walls of the oven might be equal to what we set the oven for, I bet you if we actually put a thermometer in there, it might be a little bit different, you know? Maybe the air inside is going to be the correct temperature, but the sides wouldn't be. I don't quite know how it works. But.
Yeah, I hear you. Is this guy running on 110 or 220?
He's running on 3-phase.
Oh.
Yeah, 220. Yeah, it was quite an operation to get him.
Yeah, I'm sure it's getting some juice.
Yeah, we had a team of electricians in. It was quite a
task.
Yeah, but we figured it out. Yeah, so I guess it's a little bit of guesswork, hey? We want to get it pretty hot, and we want it to caramelize, and see what happens, right? You know what? It comes to me.
Yeah.
That probably take a little bit of that out, just so that I'm able to taste before and after, right?
Yeah. Good idea.
Because we want to see what the roast.
What we're doing.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
maybe we can talk a little bit about, like, for those watching, different options that farmers have for that you've come across for the firing process. Like, for example, I mean, we talk about parching, oven toasting, drum toasting. I guess parching would be part of the Pilgrim process. And I like to talk to people a little bit about how there's a process for deactivating the enzyme that's responsible for browning the tea leaves. And that would have happened earlier. So last time, this is the sequel to that tea test. And what Pedro was doing with the boiling water was deactivating the polyphenol oxidase enzyme. And what we're doing today is more caramelizing sugars. What would you see in your travels? I guess for sort of an equivalent to this firing process, like charcoal roasting.
Well, that and there's basket firing. Is you see the Taiwanese sell basket firing for oolongs.
Yeah.
I very much like what some people do in Yame for Gyokuro. You're talking about low temperature.
Mm-hmm.
When they charcoal fire over traditional paper. Have you seen that?
I've been hearing about paper. I was first introduced to it, actually, if you can believe it, last on the tea fest when Mr. Chen was talking about the paper that's used.
Yeah, I found that charcoal firing over paper fascinating.
Okay. Hold on a second. Sorry, there was a little bit of a technical. So I think everybody can hear me now, which is good.
I hope.
Yeah. It seems that's the case.
What does it smell like, man?
It smells like tea cooking.
Nice. Excellent.
We're getting up there in temperature now. We're at 80. This is actually where I wanted to start. I thought it would be smart to throw in the leaves at 80, and then once we reached kind of 80-ish, we could increase the temperature. So, what do you want to toast these at? You want to see them toasted more like in the 100 region? Is that what you're thinking?
To be perfectly honest, I don't have the slightest idea, man. I don't know. I would like them to start looking more brown.
Yeah.
And I would like them to be delicious. But that's pretty much where I stand. So, how about this? Why don't we try brewing some acids?
Yeah.
And then let's give it some time and let's see what that can be, where we can get.
Sure.
And if you don't mind, why don't we cool a couple of leaves and see what that does?
That's even smarter. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna might be. You know what? I'll just leave this on the roaster. We can have that going in the background, and then we'll come around to this side. And
Let's try a bit. Let's go to a bit. And, you know, my guess, don't hunch, speaking out of ignorance, is I would leave that stuff in the drum roaster for maybe a couple of hours.
a couple of hours. No.
Yeah. No, too much?
I think so. Yeah. They say that the goal is 20 minutes. You want to get your temperature. You could go for 40, but 40 is a long time.
Yeah.
And an hour is way too long. So.
Well, the thing is, this Bancha looks a bit more like hojicha, usually, than like green tea.
This is true. This is true.
So you know, if I would say that if we're shooting for 20 minutes for hihire for green tea that you want it to be green,
Yeah.
I would say that maybe the parameters are different versus green tea that you want to see as a brownish end color.
That does make sense.
But then again, this is me just, you know, assuming based on the few things that I've seen over in Mimasaka and just guessing. Now, what I've done over here in a Korufu is firing for a lower amount of time, but higher temperature.
Well, why don't we? You know, I think that that maybe what I should do then is just go for a really hot temperature, as hot as I can get it without causing, you know,
Burn.
Yeah.
Yeah, without creating charges. It's fairly easy because we have a very small load in that drum. So let's see how much we can get without burn.
I think it's a good move. Okay, then let's just taste what we've made. So what what came out of the dehydrator.
Yeah, let's see. If it's drinkable, and then we can go from there.
Right?
Yeah.
I would say 90-degree water, probably.
Yeah.
Would
You
you?
know, I would say full boil, man.
Yeah. Okay.
Being in Victoria, BC,
Yeah, we got soft water.
sea level, we can we can full boil it
Okay. All right. Okay.
at 100 Celsius.
So just so we're tracking what we're doing, let's see what what my mass is here. You want me breaking these leaves at all, or shall we?
No, we do it like that. I would probably break the twigs.
You're right. That's so awesome. Look at that.
Yeah, they're big guys. That looks beautiful, man.
Isn't that?
Yeah.
So, and it's nice and shiny. Like it's got this really nice
Yeah.
gloss, right? Like I don't know if you can see that. Okay.
That looks sweet.
Okay. So that's 1 gram, 1.6 grams, 2.5.
Why don't we,
grams.
to save our tea, why don't we do 2 grams, but we do 120 grams of water? What do you
I'm into
think?
it. I'm into it. I kind of feel like these leaves are going to be needing to be fully submerged.
That's
Because they're
true.
so
I
light,
think
right?
as they soak, they are going to fully submerge.
I have an idea.
You want a micro guy one of those guys?
What's that?
You want a micro, like what you want the little guy one, and just stop them in the guy one?
Well, that's what I'm thinking. But then I have to break them, right? So I'm just like...
No. As they hydrate, they start.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. Yeah. Okay, and I have a larger size
It's
one.
an option.
Since my tea festival, I brought in a miniature version, the
Yeah.
normal one. What do you think, though? Probably the bigger guy, hey? The 120?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Would you do the little guy?
I'm fine with you. Let's do the big guy. If you have 120 and the big guy, let's do the big guy.
All right.
That looks nice.
That look awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? I should save some of this for you. I think that's what I'll do. This is gonna come to you, okay? This is the unfired
Thanks,
stuff.
man. Yeah. Whenever you're on this side of the water.
We'll make it happen. And then I'm bringing my water to a boil. It's probably very audible to those watching. One of our viewers is wondering how the scent changes while being fired. I'm just gonna give it smell? Oh yeah, that smells amazing. We've gotten above 96. We're at 106. Yeah, that's a lot hotter.
Yeah,
I can feel that. That's a good thing.
that'll bring some sweetness to these.
Okay. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna toast that.
Love it, man.
Yeah. You wanna actually put the camera on here? Okay, we're just gonna go in for a close up. I'm gonna change the camera to be there for everybody. Yeah. Can you get right in there? Beautiful.
Excellent.
Yeah, it smells really good. I actually think it's hotter than I've
Turning to brown. Yep.
Yeah, it's hotter than I've ever brought it. It's at 110.
Perfect.
So, see how that goes. Oh, it smells like honey.
Yeah.
Like this guy, anyway. I don't know
Yeah,
how the...
delicious.
My Mew teases me that I put a scale on my tea tray. She says it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that girl is right.
This is the whole point of the tea tray is to not make to have room to make a mess, and then you put something right under it that can't handle water. It's sort of not redundant, but defeats the purpose. Okay, I'm trying.
It's good.
I don't want to break them, right? This is so cool that what cultivar is this again? Do you know?
Well, I have 5 trees, and I, this being not summer, I had to take little twigs of all of those guys.
So this is an estate blend.
It's an estate blend. So there's one that's from Georgia, probably
Villalon
Bancha.
estate. Villalon. Is that the name? Am I saying your name?
It's an estate. Yeah, I wouldn't call it an estate. I would call it more like
come on. Everybody's yard is an estate.
Garden.
Bro. Okay. I am seeing.
Backyard.
It's not.
That looks good, man.
I'm gonna just tear that off. There's like a white spot.
Ah,
Probably not the best. Okay.
really.
There's no.
Stuff. I would get a bit more, some more water, and I would just let those guys stew for a few minutes.
Okay. I'm gonna do that, and while we're doing that, we'll go and we'll check on the tea.
See what the roaster is looking.
Yeah. Oh wow, it smells like bojicha.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's look at those. Can you take one out and let's see how brown it looks?
Yeah, I totally can. Hold on, I'm just gonna get a ladle.
Yeah. Do not burn.
Well, it's a little bit more hard to put your hands inside there.
Yep. Ladle good. Do they look different? Are they visibly changed?
I can't get anything. Okay. They look really similar. Like, I don't know if you can see
Yeah.
but
I mean, from through the camera they look a little bit browner. I don't know. Maybe.
they smell amazing. Okay. I say okay, I'm gonna try and fix something. There's a little bit of an issue that happened last time. This is gonna be a test. So audience is watching. I'm gonna switch to using the audio on my phone instead of the audio in the studio. So it'll not be as good, but at least there won't be echo. So
Audio is important.
Okay. Ooh. Can you try talking again?
That's good.
Yeah?
I can hear you.
Okay. Ooh.
Nice sound effect for roasting.
Doing something wrong. Fun.
Yep. How's it work? How's that sound?
Okay. You hear me?
Yeah, perfect, man.
I wonder why it's looping.
I think I'm just gonna have to deal with the echo. Okay, all right. Sorry, that was a bad test to do live, but there we have it. You know,
They look
I'm
pretty.
feeling.
Sir, why don't we do this? Because I think they might take a bit longer. So why don't we do this? Because I might also need to bail out in about 13 minutes.
Yeah.
But I would say let's see what you think about the flavor of the unroasted leaves.
You know,
And why don't we try to hodu a little bit?
I think I'm gonna pull some out right now and just taste it.
Perfect. Let's do it, man.
Okay. So before I do that, we'll taste this.
Yeah. And then we can conclude whether this temperature is okay or we need higher temperature.
I think it's a good,
We shall learn.
question to answer,
That looks clean.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm just gonna blow up the camera here so people can see it. There they are. Okay. Beautiful.
Yeah. Looks like Kamairi.
Yeah, right? Okay, I'm gonna pour some out. It sure smells like a very nice brew. Or leaf toasting in the tea roaster.
Perfect. Let's see what you and the camera lady think.
Yeah. Gonna give it a taste. Okay. So, smells kind of sweet. That's really decent, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really decent. Not even gone through the toasting at all. And it
That's
tastes
awesome,
really
man.
nice.
And for something that was picked in the height of the rainy, cold season.
Broke all the rules. And yet
What
it's
does it smell like?
amazing. Okay. I'm gonna you know, for the sake of the show, which is supposed to end like basically right now, I think we should just go for it. I think it's
Go for it.
yeah, you know,
Do
like
it.
we can always do this again.
Yeah.
You have more tea.
Yes, indeed. There are 5 trees.
So okay, I'm gonna see that okay?
Yep.
Okay.
It
Okay.
looks very professional, man.
Man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's industrial right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And that feel like
Talk about micro batch.
micro batch indeed.
It's a nano batch.
Yeah. Okay. The roaster was 135 at the end, so
Yeah.
a pretty nice town.
Dude. I think that killing the green process worked.
It's looking nice. There's like a kind of a
Yeah.
brownish.
And they're
there.
shiny. Sweet. Let's try it.
Okay. All right. Just emptied them into this guy. And I'm gonna just put us on so people can see us both. Okay, there we go. Okay, so that is what they look like for the audience. That's what they look like. Pedro. Kind of cool, hey?
They look beautiful.
I think so. I think so.
Now we can put the scale in the tray so we can fill it up again.
Yeah, yeah. We wanna be illogical around here. It's part of the name of the game.
Exactly.
Okay. Rinse that out.
I love that grinder setup on the back, man.
These guys?
Yeah.
Yo, you see this?
Oh, that's what you got.
I wanted to see what it was like. There's a little chute protector too, but it broke with the I tap it sometimes and
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so but it's good. I was able to mill with the new plates and the glycol chiller setup. A nice 25 to 32 minute kilogram.
Beautiful. Love those new plates.
So yeah, they're beautiful. I think
Yeah, they make life so much easier.
we got a set going your way too. So
Sweet.
I think it left today. So
They sound crunchier. I don't know if it's just myself. Yo.
you know, I was have you ever used spacers in the mill?
No, the Mimasaka, the roasted Mimasaka, the
Oh,
fired
okay.
Mimasaka.
Yeah, they are definitely drier. What I should have done is I should have weighed them before and after, hey?
Yeah.
Because for the same mass, 3 grams, I feel like I'm using way more. Right?
Possible.
Because they're so much drier.
Yeah. Trim the twig.
Okay, I think we're ready for this. So it was a hold on one sec. Join now. Yeah, and just make sure that this is off. And audio off. There we go. Okay, now you should be able to zoom in real nice. Okay, so we're gonna be all camered up.
Perfect.
Okay, so we're gonna get right in there.
Boiling 120 mil.
Audio off didn't work. Hold on one second. Oh, okay. Okay, so you want to get in real close? Look at that. That's better, eh? Get a better sense of it. Okay. And then I'm gonna put my 120 and use my illogical scale.
Neat. Works.
Okay.
They look pretty.
Don't they?
Yeah.
Oh, they smell like hojicha.
JagaSilk Fire Tea.
Oh, dude. Tea grown in Richmond by Pedro, boiled for the Kilgreen process during the tea festival in hour 5 by Pedro. The sequel, the completion.
You supply the burner, the barbecue burner, and
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Can you turn on the exhaust?
What does it smell like?
You know, the smell is actually unreal. This is really
They're beautiful.
Isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I'm really into that. Okay, so the last one we did, I took it to 8 minutes.
Yeah, it was a long steep.
Are you thinking I should do the same thing just to be fair, or for the interest of time, do you think it's smarter to?
I think we're already in like 3 minutes, right?
Sorry.
We're about. I think we can play a fanfare as soon as we hit 8 and taste it.
Well, it's looking really good. Like I'm seeing some green color extracting. There's some nice. They're definitely more brittle. Like I'm seeing more sediment.
Yeah, of course, likely because of the heat.
Yeah. Right. But it smells again like this kind of really interesting honey.
Smells pretty good.
I love that the little twig sticking out of the nylon.
Yeah, of course. We did say rustic.
We did say rustic. This is true.
Exactly.
So we're gonna see if we can't get a nice view of the brewing. Hold on a sec. Check that out. Oh yeah. How cool is that? That's like full on cooking channel, right?
Exactly. Exactly, man.
So
They look beautiful, dude.
I'm into it. I'm into it. I think maybe at 4 minutes, I just want to.
Sounds great.
Yeah, already a much more noticeably stronger infusion. I think I'm going to cut it at 4 minutes. I think.
Go for it.
That's
What's the difference in tasting notes versus the unfired one?
You know, I would say the difference, probably the biggest difference, is kind of. I don't want to be like cliche and say caramelized sugar, because it's not caramelized sugar. There's a honey quality to it that's strengthened. It reminds me of like genmai, like the toasted rice sort of flavor.
Got it, yeah.
There's have you ever had boiled tea from India?
No,
Okay, sort of reminds me of that
boiled tea from India.
a bit, but yeah, it's so interesting. Yeah, it's so interesting. Okay, so we're at the 4.5 minutes, so I'm gonna just pour through this extraction.
Go for it.
Oh, that epic fail. Yeah. Okay.
That's what you need a tea tray.
Right? Well, what I like to do here, Pedro, is I like to remove my equipment from the tea tray when I actually need to use the tea tray. It's
Of course.
it fits with the whole.
It's a paradox. I
Right?
like it.
Yeah, we're essentially, that's what we are here. Is a paradox.
And we harvested the tea in the fall, not the summer, and
Right?
right. Absolutely.
Okay, so let's.
That looks good, man.
I'm gonna bring it back to you.
It also gives character to the tea bar. I wonder how many times tea has been spilled on that beautiful space.
Right. Okay. Let's I think we're getting on with the time. I wanna just quickly drink this.
Yep.
Maybe I should get this out of the way.
Check it out.
Okay. And going to pour that. Oh yeah.
Sweet.
Okay. Yeah, honey, man. Amazing.
Yeah. So the most important question, man. So regardless of how we made it and the fact that it's from BC and made in Victoria and all that stuff, if you entered a tea bar and somebody served this to you, would you be happy, or you would say, dude, like?
I would tell 3 grams to 120. Just needs more time. Yeah.
Lighter.
Yeah. You can taste a lot of potential.
Right. So you would send it back to the bartender and say, dude, brew it right.
Well, another thing I learned so far with the Senchas is that it actually makes way more sense to wait a bit. Like right out of the tea roaster, it's not really an ideal moment. It's actually a much more ideal moment to taste it after it's had a chance to rest a bit. Even 2 days or 3 days. And what Takaki did, and this may come back to that volatile oil thing, is I think that these teas often get, you let them cool down to a certain extent until they're not like warm to the touch. Fairly, maybe a good 20, if not 45 minutes. And then they're packaged, so I think there's still some residual heat and some moisture probably from that to build up, and there's like a conditioning in the bag, I think, that happens. So it's interesting to try it again after it's had a chance to rest. But I'm going to try it again now that I let it go a little stronger. I think that it's good. It's actually really, really interesting. It's very light, so if you are looking for a strong tea,
Not your guy, right?
yeah, not your guy, but we could make it stronger by just up-dosing, right?
Yeah, of course. And take into consideration that my Richmond trees have been fed by nothing but water and tea compost and coffee compost.
Amazing. That's awesome. It's really good. I think you're going to really, really enjoy this. Hey, your plates, do you want them to go to your warehouse or your shop?
Warehouse better, please.
Okay. All right, we'll send them to the warehouse.
Yeah, I mean, not urgent. Whenever are you crossing the water anytime soon?
No.
Maybe. No.
No, I actually haven't been off the island since COVID started.
Yeah, that's good, man. Stay in the island.
I don't know. I don't know if it's good
Yeah.
or what it is, but okay. But we will do that.
Whenever you have Ace crossing the on Ace, whenever. Thanks so much, man.
Okay. I'll leave everybody with something I wanted to show Pedro while I had him on the show. Which is, just so you can see, this is the plates. We have kind of a cover here.
That's convenient, man.
Right, that works. And then there's this cover here. Look at
Our 10,000 gauss magnet.
yeah, we got the magnet working away, doing its magic. We have our bolt settings. This bolt's been adjusting that quite a bit because there apparently is no default setting.
Important not to mess too much with it, or your place will be destroyed.
Yeah, that's what I learned the hard way. Pedro. For those watching, Pedro and I both mill our tea in-house, so it's kind of an interesting chance to discuss a little bit about the technical side of things. Anyway, we should wrap things up. It's been a little bit of a scattered show with trying to navigate this new technology, but hopefully it'll improve for next time. And I really enjoyed tasting your tea here, Pedro. Really exciting to be able to have your Richmond harvest and enjoy it. Oh,
Thanks for my man.
Look at this. Sister Speak gets to join us at the very end.
Of course.
Awesome. Hey, we're just
How are you?
We're just signing off, Sherri. Awesome to see you join us here at the end. We were just making hold on, I'm just gonna move this. We were just
Hi, Pedro.
making
Hey,
the
how's it going,
tea that Pedro brew himself.
Oh, sorry, what was it? I think the delay.
It was
We made some tea at the
tea
festival.
Yeah, made during the tea festival. This tea, and
Oh,
then we
yes.
and then we finish fired it here, and so it's actually tea that Pedro harvested himself from his front yard in Richmond.
Wow.
Isn't that
Yeah.
cool?
Next time you're in Victoria, please drink some. See what you think.
I will. Mid-December. I'll be drinking it.
Perfect.
Yeah, we had a really good time just understanding or just kind of putting it through the tea roaster and finishing it today, and I got to drink tea and Pedro didn't, but I'm going to send him some.
Thanks for sharing that roaster, man. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool acquisition.
And for those watching, Sherri, you're about to go on a tour, right? You're to Costa Rica.
Yeah, Costa Rica and Southern California, or just California, a few days, 4 days, 5-day tour.
And
Hey.
bringing the Singer's Delight tea with you on the road, right?
I've been drinking it all day. I'm starting now. It really helps for traveling too.
Perfect.
Cool. Yeah,
Happy
Pedro, I'll
trip.
have to send you some of that stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, guys.
Okay. All right. You guys have a wonderful day. Thank you for
See you.
joining us at the end here, Sherri. And thanks for your time today, Pedro. Huge appreciation. And we'll talk soon.
Take it easy.
Thanks.
Ciao.
See you both soon.
All right. Thanks. Bye, Sherri.
Bye.
Okay. So that was a little bit of a challenge to navigate the technology, but we figured it out, and we got a chance to drink some really fascinating brew. Sounds like the audio got a little bit better at the end. I think I found a way to make this work well for next time, and hopefully I'll have steadier hands with that second camera. Thank you for watching. You can find us at JagaSilk.com. You can find archive versions of the show on YouTube.com/JagaSilk. We look forward to you watching us do these broadcasts every Thursday at 1 o'clock. Next week we'll have Sam Jones joining us from 2% Jazz. We'll be roasting some tencha together. And then last week we had me roasting some sencha live for our audience. And looking forward to connecting with you every week. So yeah, if you haven't done so already, click subscribe and sign up for notifications, and you'll know when we go live. Thank you so much for watching. Have a fantastic day. Take care.
There we go.